This is part 5 of the Unofficial replica bootleg series videos. I'm going through a bunch of copies that I have of the originals. I'll compare them to the originals if I have them. I don't have that many. I do have some alternative presses to compare them to, so this is going to be one of those. This is Mayhem, classic album, the Mysteriis Sathanas. This is the 2025 version on Necromancy Records. I don't know why it says that in the promo blurb, because they don't have Necromancy Records written on this release anywhere that I can see. So yeah, interesting. There is another version of this album that was released in 2025, and that is really, there is no information on this. It's a bit strange. I've gotten pictures from someone of this version that was released. I think it was, he said came out in January, and it is also a high quality replica of this album. There are some differences in the color, and there are differences in how the grooves look on the actual vinyl LP. I don't know how many copies of that were made. I don't know how many copies of this were made, but it seems that that is a very limited press, because nobody has put this up on Discord. It could be that it's made by a very small group of people that don't want to have these things published, like in mass production. So yeah, so this is the one that most people can get their hands on. That came out just a few months back. So let's have a look at this one. So unfortunately I don't have the original to compare to, but I do have the Ancient Darkness, I think it's called. Yeah, something like that. This came out, I think it was 2006, maybe 2005, 2006. We'll have a look at this a bit closer. There is a lot to unpack in this one because it's just full of extras. Interestingly, it literally is a copy of the original. I think it's basically like they've taken the original LP, copied it exactly, and then just stuck the Ancient Darkness logo on the back. So it's quite interesting to compare, because you can see the similarities between these two versions. And of course they're both based on the original. So this has the pink, or purple rather, purple colorization of the church. On newer presses, on the back on black presses, it's blue like the represses of the CD. This is way cooler. It looks so much better in sort of pinky purple color. I really like it. I don't have the back on black anymore to compare to because I sold it, but to be fair to Back on Black, it's practically a copy of this, but with their logo on it, and it's blue instead of pink. So there's not much to that. I've had several copies of the Back on Black, and they sound different. So they definitely have at some point used a different master or changed the EQ on the Back on Black press. The last one I had, I think, was from a couple of years ago, because a friend of mine bought it, and I had the one from, I think it was around 2012, and we compared them, and his was so much better sound. So I sold that version, and then I bought the newer version of the Back on Black, and then when this came out, I sold the Back on Black, because I didn't need it anymore. I'd rather have unofficial stuff than anything with the Back on Black label, unfortunately. They have such a bad reputation that it started from when they started releasing reissues of classic metal, and they were just so poorly done. They were very poorly transferred to vinyl. The packaging, the covers, they were diabolical. They were just blown up CDs. They looked like shit. I had loads of stuff from Back on Black then, because I just started recollecting vinyl. I used to collect vinyl back in the early 90s. but my vinyl collection got lost when I moved around in Europe, and I never recovered my original vinyl collection. So I started recollecting, I think about 2007, 2008, and yeah, I was happy because Back on Black had all these classic albums I could buy, like Emperor and Mayhem, Birdsong. But the quality of them was kind of disappointing. And they did make some improvements to certain albums as time went on, but they're still they still could do better. It's frustrating because they could make brilliant copies if they put some time and money into these reissues that they do, but they don't. So this is, from memory, in comparison to the original that I've found online, this is more in line with the original colours of the original LP. The one I was talking about from earlier in 2025, it was really blue on the inside. This is a bit more consistent. The pink on this isn't quite the same, or the purple, sorry, as on the back. So yeah, the reproduction of the pictures are quite good. It's not a glossy album, it's matte, but it's very nice quality. Take a quick look at the vinyl. Yeah, I mean it's a standard black vinyl, so nothing special. There's nothing super special about this, to be fair. There is an insert in here. Forgotten what that was. Yeah, so it comes with this. That's basically all the extras that come with this one. Let me double check the other pocket here. Yeah, that pocket doesn't open. So yeah, this is nice. I really enjoy it. I'm happy I've got it. This will be probably the last version of this album I'll ever buy on vinyl. It was never that fancy to begin with, so I really regret. I was offered a copy of the original in good condition some years back for about €500, and I couldn't part with that kind of money, but I wish I'd bought it because it would have been a good investment actually. I could have always sold that easily for €500, probably like double that now. So that was kind of an opportunity missed. But it's hard to put out like huge money for what is essentially plastic and paper. This is the Ancient Darkness version, and this is fantastic. This is probably the ultimate version of this album on vinyl. There's so much extra stuff with it. On the surface, it is practically identical to the original. Because I don't have the original to compare to, I was never really sure just how good this was. But compared to the 2025, they are so similar that I would expect that they did a fantastic job with this copy, this version, this is official, this reissue, 2006. So yeah, they did an excellent job on the Ancient Darkness version. I think they're a Danish record company, if I remember correctly. Again, it's just standard stuff. Let's have a look at the stuff that comes with it. It's just jam-packed with things. This is the Ancient Darkness vinyl. It's thick vinyl. I think it's probably at least 160, 170 grams. It's probably 180. I've never weighed it. It doesn't quite feel as thick as what they market as 180 grams, but it's definitely thicker than the 2025 version. That feels like 140 grams to me. So nice quality version of this. It comes with a printed in the sleeve. There's nothing fancy about it. It's basically, I know the overhead light that I'm using is always in the way in these videos, but it's the easiest way for me to get decent light in here using a mobile phone camera. So yeah, it comes with the printed in the sleeve. I've added a polyliner bag to this to keep everything together because there's so much stuff that there's not a lot of room for extra things. There's a picture of Euronymous. There is another picture here. Unfortunately, the sides of it have been like pinched by the gatefold, which is a shame. It's slightly crumpled it. Yeah, so this is basically a black and white poster of the front cover and the members of Mayhem who played on the record. And then the real big thing on this is the booklet is just amazing. I mean, it's just... I've got a version of the anniversary LP that was released, and it comes with a huge booklet, but this is just something else. This really is. It's got from the CD repress, it's got the handwritten lyrics and the calligraphy. It just looks absolutely stunning. It really is amazing. To have this large is it's great. I mean, it looks good in the CD version of that album. So there's a little bit of history. Some info. There's a lot of good information here. There's also interviews with Euronymous, with certain fanzines, zines. It's just packed with stuff. Yeah, I mean, this came out over, nearly 20 years ago already, and this just hasn't been beaten. I don't even think the official reissue in the box with the booklet and the ridiculous rehearsal vinyls, I don't even think that is as good as this. I think for me, this is like as good as it gets. I don't like all this extra shit, like in these anniversary things. I don't like listening to cassette rehearsal tapes on vinyl. I just don't see the point in it. But this is perfect. This is just the album. It's got this amazing booklet, all these pictures, photographs. It's really strange because, I mean, I think I bought this for €100 off of a friend who at the time he gave it to me cheap, really, because I think the going rate for this on Discogs was about 160. And it stayed at around that value for a long time. I don't know if it's increased in value, but it's so weird. I mean, you would expect this to be at least like €400-500 these days. It might well be. I don't really keep an eye on the value of these records. I don't like that, but for a long time it held a very consistent value of around 140, €160 for years, but I don't understand why this isn't like more sought after. This is literally the best version of the album. So that's basically a wrap up for that. I think we did a little comparison with the album covers, and yeah, like I said, they're almost identical. So this is from 2006 and this is from 2025. The feel, the cardboard quality, it's almost identical. It's really strange. You can kind of tell from the logo that it has a little bit of I like this was copied kind of feel, whereas this one doesn't feel like that. But I mean, you have to really be looking at the actual Mayhem logo. It is a little bit like slightly, I don't want to say blurry because it's not blurry, but you can tell like there is a little bit less definition compared to the 2025 logo. But I mean, if you were looking at these records from 2 meters away, you wouldn't be able to pick out which was which. So yeah, definitely recommend this 2025 press. I give it 10 out of 10, considering it basically exactly as the original was. And I mean, okay, if I give that 10 out of 10, you'd have to give this something like 15 out of 10, which obviously is stupid, but this is just a level up. And this will be, I mean, I will never sell this probably, and I definitely will never sell this, so this would definitely be the one I'd keep out of every version, because I mean, there will be new versions of this art. There will be. It's just inevitable. Yeah. So that's basically Mayhem. I'm going to have a look at Satiric and Nemesis Divina. I'm waiting for, because again, there's 2 copies of the album. So one of them was released about a month ago, and the other version is released literally a week ago. So I'm interested to compare those 2. I do not have the original version of the Nemesis Divina album, so I can't give it a direct comparison to the original. I did have the Napalm 2016 version, but I've sold it, and I think from memory the front cover of the 2016, it is a little bit better because I think they've actually used the original photograph of the front cover. So I think that is a perfect reproduction, but it doesn't have the logo on it. And of course it doesn't have the layout as the original. But the original, the version I got last week just looks incredible. So yeah, we'll do a comparison of that next, I think. That's all. Thank you.